Welcome back to Milton Mo Junction. This is the second video, first update that I've done. What I've been doing since the last video is mainly hidden work really. I've wired in electrically all the TMD that this is now looking at. All this exits from the turntable have now been wired, and so is a turntable with a reverse loop module. All the drop wires underneath are hidden. I've boarded them up so that this piece of contraption here can slide underneath without catching any wires. The other piece of work I've been doing is where the line splits and comes around at the back. I've started working on the back higher level above the fiddle yard, and I've now got to this area where I've dropped it down to make a river cum canal area. I've got to scenery this now because I need the rails over it before I can continue, and the bridges are going to be the last item to be sort of pinned down, as it were. So I need to do all the scenery work. I've made a start on some of it. The bridge, the one at the back, is in fact an old triangle bridge which I took apart, increased the size of the base, put extra girders on across the top, and I've painted it and started weathering it. I've got some more work to do, but I'm waiting some weathering items from Haddon's. The rest of it will have ballistic water in the base part, and all the scenery will be done. Hopefully that's the next to do, and a lock gate perhaps in this area with probably a pub or something over here. Yeah, there's the higher line will be pass over the whole area with this old Hornby bridge, which will all be painted and made more realistic, less of a toy, and then I can continue. That's about all I've done. I sort of tend to come up here and potter as and when I feel I want to come up. I don't actually live up here, so I do the work as and when, but that's what I've done so far. I showed the video not on YouTube, but I showed a video I made with some friends, and they were actually asking about the loft, how I'd made the loft. If anyone else is interested, what I actually did, first of all I was going to make this a proper room, but when I had engineering reports etc, everyone said I had to put girders in, steels underneath, which was going to be an expensive job. So I decided to keep it as a loft but make it more livable. So what I did, I moved all the water tanks which were here and moved them to the far end, and then sealed them in. I mean, obviously I can get to them, but for all intents and purposes they're sealed away. I then put boarding across, well in fact no, I put extra beams, wooden beams at 90 degrees to these rafters, so it spreads a load a bit, boarded those up, and it also now allowed the extra insulation underneath the floorboards, so that's quite thick below me. Obviously I've carpeted here. I've put a Velux window in. Unfortunately I actually put the Velux window in after I'd done a lot of the insulation, so it was hard work. So if I'd have known how good it was, I would have put two in before I did the insulation, but I'll leave it at that for the time being. The insulation itself is really expensive insulation. It's about 4 inches thick, which I've just pinned up. I haven't covered it at all. I'm just leaving it actually as it is. It reflects the light. It's quite pleasant up here, and it does its job. It really keeps the temperature more stable up here. It's very easy to heat. What I usually do is just leave this flap, create a flap in the floor above the ladder, so I drop that down when I'm up here, I leave that open perhaps for 20 minutes or so before I come up here, and by the time I get up here it's usually a fairly nice temperature. I have to sometimes put a fire on up here just for a short time, this one down here, keep it on for a short while and then turn it off, because it just retains the heat up here. Last summer it didn't really get absolutely unbearable up here, but if I wanted to come up and work, I just opened the Velux window and put the fan on, and it was quite comfortable. So plus and minus temperatures, I think the coldest it's been up here is -6.7 and the hottest is 36 degrees. So last summer I didn't have any problems with any rails buckling, so hopefully that's going to be the case in future, but I'll let you know. As I say, it's quite a comfortable temperature. The only other thing I can think I did was I've put in, I'll just turn it on, I've put in this lighting underneath so that I can actually look at the fiddle yard and see what's in there and what's passing through. Yep, that's about it. If anyone's got any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave some messages for me. I think that's about it, so bye for now.